Satnam Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And it looks like we're live. And my sound is good. Okay. If you could put your human design type, if you know it, in your profile and your astro information if you feel called. And I just want to check here. Do we have... Okay, great. Great. I see your comments. So... Thank you for your patience. I was just getting my slides ready. And how is everybody doing? We're finally out of April. April was quite something. It was very challenging for me personally, and probably the same for everybody out there. But it's looking good for May. It's looking really good for May. And I mentioned that in my newsletter, if you received my newsletter today. So today I want to talk about Pluto going into retrograde, and I'll do a new moon video before the new moon next week, but I thought this was worthy of discussion, is to talk about Pluto going retrograde. So this is the human design transit chart, and you always want, if you're new to human design, is to go to jovianarchive.com, and I always have a link to that in my information box below, and you can get your free chart. So it's a great idea to have your natal chart so that you can follow along and learn more and more about your design. And you can see I'm covering up this chart a little bit, but this is the natal chart, right? So you'll notice that the transit chart, it's all black, right? But the natal chart, you actually have red and black. So red is your unconscious, and then black is the conscious. But we can learn a lot about the energy, what's going on energetically, just through the transit chart, right? And then I want to talk a little bit about the generators and manifesting generators, and then a quick message for each type, okay? So I want to be able to see your comments as they come up. Okay, great. Love your newsletters, great. That's awesome. So everybody's doing great. It's just me that felt the pressure in April, nobody else. There must be some relief, like write it down, there's some relief. I felt a shift in energy right away. I mean, we still have this Venus-Pluto square, but other than that, it's going to be really, really good month, right? We need a little break, a little respite. So this is supposed to be the best month of the year, 2024. Okay. So let me get my highlighter here. The Pluto retrograde. So Pluto went into retrograde on May 2nd, and it's going to be retrograde until October 11th. So it's the only planet that's retrograde. So we're really going to feel this Plutonian energy. And Pluto is our friend. People are afraid of Pluto, but Pluto gets to the bottom. It's the excavator. It gets to the bottom of things. It gets to the truth of the matter. So you may be feeling that yourself with this Pluto square. Venus is having some confrontations in terms of your relationships or your finances. Venus rules finances too. Just to get to the truth, right? To get to the truth. So there's Pluto down here in the 41.1. And you can see that the 41 comes off the root chakra, right? This is the root. And then it's joining up with the 30. And the moon isn't, this is the exact time of when Pluto went retrograde. So it gives us information about the energies that we're going to experience for the next June, July, August, September, October, the next 5 months until October 11th. Right, and then it's the moon, yeah, in 30.6. So let's look at the definition. We always want to look at definition first. So this is the G center, this yellow shape here, the G center. So this is love of the self. This is love of yourself, not narcissism, and willpower. The willpower. And it's activating. You see there's the 25. This is what makes it colored in, right? That 25th gate is meeting the 51st gate here. And this creates a channel. It's called a channel, and that's what it gives it definition. That's what it colored in. So if you look back at your natal chart, whatever is colored in is you. That's your authentic self. Wherever it's white is where you're prone to conditioning or being pulled into your not self. And the not self is that false identity that we created when we were very, very young in order to cope and survive in this world, because we live in a not self world, but that's breaking down, right? That's breaking down for this new age of Aquarius, this new shift of the ages, right? So now, the 25 is Mars, right? And is activating the North Node, and Mercury is in there too. Mercury and the North Node are still conjunct according to human design. So this is about making the leap. This is being the fool, right? The fool in the tarot deck, the very beginning, the major arcana is like setting off, right? Setting off. So it's interesting that Pluto is in 41. This is the gate of decrease, right? It's a gate of decrease. So this is about letting go and simplifying, shedding what's not necessary, shedding things that don't have real value, right? Pluto wants the truth, right? What has value for you? What has true value for you? In terms of the people too in your life and your material possessions, maybe your time, you're starting to value these things more and more and more because you've got to travel light, right? You've got to travel light, you got to be the light, and you got to spread the light. That's the age of Aquarius. So it's really like shedding. You can read this gate as that too, like a shedding, so that you can begin this new experience. This channel is all about experience, having new human experiences, and it's the root chakra, so it's the pressure to have new experiences, and this is the gate of desire on the other side. And desire is not a bad thing, right? You're a product of your desire. The fact that you're born, you're a product of the desire of your parents, right? When they slept together, had sex, and then created you, right? There's a desire there. But even further back than that is a soul's desire to come back here. So you're the product of that desire, right? So desire is not necessarily a bad thing. It's when it's directed to something external, like the ego has taken over that energy of desire, and it's like, well, I want the trophy wife, or I want the 5 cars, and I want, all these material possessions so that I can inflate myself and be better than others, right? That would be like a misuse of that energy of desire. So we can't get rid of desire, right? The 30, the ancient, because these go back to the I Ching too, these numbers, they go back to the I Ching. This is the clinging fire. The 30, the clinging fire, that means you can't get rid of these desires. And we've seen this in the religious communities. They're trying to repress and control these desires, and then they end up getting perverted, right? They get perverted in ways that are harmful to others and to themselves. Yeah. And then the other thing, I'm just going to bop around here, is Jupiter is in the 8. And that's one of my favorite numbers because that's my sun. And the 8 is all about being your authentic self. The 8 is all about being your authentic self. It's about embracing your uniqueness, not your difference. Now there's a difference. I want to use another word. There's a delineation, I guess. Delineation between uniqueness and difference, right? So difference is with ego, right? Difference is with ego. It has ego all over it. Uniqueness is an absence of ego, right? It's natural. There's a naturalness to it. Lack of self-consciousness, right? That's the ego. So the uniqueness doesn't even try to be unique. It just is because it exists, right? And difference is I need to be different, and I'm comparing myself to others. I need to be different than these people or that culture or that religion, and that's all based in ego. That's not the same, right? The 8 is about you just being your unique self. No script, right? just spontaneous, fresh, original, in the moment. That's uniqueness. And this is your superpower for this new age of Aquarius, this new cross of the sleeping phoenix that's coming in for 2027, right? So there's Jupiter blowing it up, right? Wherever Jupiter goes, it blows it up. It expands it. It expands this. So you have this potential, and for May, to really like tap into your uniqueness, make that leap that I talk about all the time, right? The North Node in the 51, that's where karmically where we're supposed to go. And that's about awakening. And that's about a belief in yourself. That's being the fool. I'm just going to fly off the cliff and complete trust and faith in the divine. So one thing that we have to watch out for with Pluto in the 41 is not to get caught up in our fears, right? This is not a time to get caught up in your fears, because this will be extremely amplified, right? Your fears. So Pluto really shows us where we retrograde, right? Pluto retrograde. Maybe you were born natally with that. I was born natally Pluto retrograde. Learning about power, right? So for me, my lesson has been that the power is inside me. It's not outside of me. That's been my lesson. But it's a 50-50 chance, right? Because Pluto goes retrograde every year. So where have you given your power over? This is about reflection, reflecting on this, right? Reflecting on this. Where have I given my power over? Whom have I given my power over to? What were the circumstances? Why do I give my power over? Well, it's going to have something to do with this not self that was trained and programmed to give their power over to others. Maybe you were taught, you were conditioned that, that's what it means to be humble, right? Is to give my power over to other people. I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert. I have to defer all my power to these so-called experts out there. Simple things like that. This is the false not self. This is the ego. This is the deflated. There's two versions of the ego. The inflated, I'm the best, right? I'm the best of the best of the best. Bow to me. Or there's the deflated, I'm the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. And they're both expressions of the ego in a different way. So this is a really good time for you to reflect on this power, your power, right? Your power. So in terms of human design, I mean, you have a strategy. You have a strategy to access your power. You know, this time that we're in right now, we have to be self-sovereign. We can't be giving our power over to other people. It's very, very dangerous. And so it's just about making this shift, right? This shift has to be made for this new age. And it's about bringing yourself back to your own power, your own sense of power. And you're very, very powerful. We've been tricked. We've been deceived. We've been manipulated to believe that we're powerless, that we have no power. And it's not true. So Pluto retrograde is really going to show you that this is an opportunity for you to really see. And it gets strong. Pluto gets really, really strong when it goes retrograde. So it's going to show you very clearly in your life where you're giving your power over. So it's important not to get angry, right? At the messengers, right? At the messengers. So what does that mean? Well, there's people in your life that are going to play the part. Right? Somebody's got to play the part, you know, of taking your power, showing you where you give your power over, right? So they'll play their part. Maybe they're the bully. Maybe they pressure you, right? Whatever it is. And it's going to show you very, very clearly, well, don't blame the messenger, right? It's them, it's them, it's them. They're taking my power. They're taking it. They're stealing my power. There's no such thing. Nobody takes your power. You give your power over. It may be unconscious, but it's still you giving your power over. So, right? So this is a good time to not like just, okay, I got the message, right? I got the message of this dynamic, but now I'm going to take it inside and I'm going to reflect on this, right? I'm going to reflect on this so that I can break this pattern, right, of giving my power over. And all of humanity's in the same lesson. The other thing about the 41, I mean, that's the beginning. I don't have the mandala here. That's the beginning of the mandala in human design. It's a start codon. It's the beginning. It's the Fool. It's the beginning of a whole new cycle, right? And the Pluto is here after 285 years, right? It's finally come back into the 41. This is a brand new cycle for all of us, but we're not quite ready to move forward yet, right? So we have to do some reflection on terms of our power. So it's about claiming your power back, bringing it back. Okay. Oh, there's mine. There's already 248 years. There's the mandala. Look at that. It just appeared. Let me just get myself out of the way here so you guys can see this chart. Right? So there's Pluto, moved into Aquarius January 20th this year. In the 60th gate. So this is the mandala that I was just talking about. Right? So it takes 248 years for Pluto to move into each one of these numbers, these hexagrams or gates. Right? And then 248 years is back to the very beginning. And that's this 41. This is the beginning of a whole new cycle for humanity. Right? So that it moved into Aquarius, but you can see the 41 is on the cusp. Do you see that in terms of the zodiac and human design? The first ones are on the cusp. So it's like part Capricorn, part Aquarius. So, and then it moved into the 41st gate, April 12th, and it's going to stay there until May 23rd. So there's another window of opportunity for us that we're in this 41st energy. So it's direct from April, right? And then May 2nd, today, it went retrograde, and then we've got until May 23rd to really reflect, right? Reflect. So the 41 is also about your dream, right? It's all about your dreams. And so what does that mean? This isn't about fantasies. Fantasies comes from the mind and the ego, and it's usually about inflating yourself, right? Inflating or deflating yourself. Dreams are something, 6 lines understand this. Remember the 6-line profiles? They're the canary in the coal mines. They understand this nature of dreams because they've been seeded with a dream. We all have, but the 6 lines are the ones that are really accessing this energy first. So it's this dream that's been seeded inside you. Has to do with your soul purpose, right? It has to do with your contribution for this new age, because we're in a transitional time. So it's a dream. So this is a time to really get in touch with your dream. Like, what's that dream? And that dream will have been with you since childhood. It may not be fully formed in terms of what it looks like manifested, but the energy and the quintessence of that dream will be inside you, right? So that's a good use of your time and energy too, to really tap into this 41. And then it's back into the 60, right? Moves back into the 60, right? And then it's, it's going in the Capricorn. Pluto's going into the Capricorn, September, October, November. And that's going to be quite the show. What we're going to see on the external, because this is the last gasp, right? Capricorn energy is the matrix. It's the matrix. It's all about time, the construct of time in all these institutions, and they're all crumbling. So there's going to be a great grab for power when Pluto goes into Capricorn. So, right, 60 is the shadow of limitation, and that comes off the root chakra there. And then it's back into the 41 in human design from January 30th, 2025 till August 20th, 2025. Then back into the 60 for a little bit, and then back into the 41, and that's December 6th to January 2029. And then we're off and running, right? In terms of the age of Aquarius. Okay. And let me just check if there's any comments here. Okay. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Still tired. Yeah. Tough April. Right on. Somebody agrees with me here. Felt the shift. Yeah, much needed. April was intense. Yeah. But you know what? We have to give ourselves snaps because we totally got through it. We totally got through April. We're alive. That's all that matters. And we keep moving forward. That's what this 41 is. Don't let your fears stop you, right? Don't let your ego stop you from moving forward. And the other big thing is don't let the belief in these past stories are going to repeat themselves. That's also an important message too. Okay. Hermes, crazy time in my life right now. I'm 37, feeling like a midlife crisis. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, people are agreeing. Okay. Yeah. That was kind of like April, wasn't it, right? The shift just happened to feel good and then things went squirrely. The up and down. Okay. The thing is, I feel strongly that it's training us to get used to this energy, which is about coming into the present now moment. Capricorn rules time, and Pluto's breaking down Capricorn. And this is what we need to move into, is we're moving into the present now moment. That's what the solar plexus mutation is about. Okay. Oh, thank you, Linda, for saying to hit the like button for the algorithm. Yeah, okay. Okay, great. Yeah. Linda's asking a question here. I want to use my comments here. There we go. Okay. She's like, how can you tell if your natal planets are retrograde? It will have a little R beside it. And it's a really good idea to have your astrology chart too. Okay. Yeah. This is activation time. Okay. If it's Davy Dial, what does it mean if the channel is only half colored in? So that means it's a hanging gate, right? If the channel is half, so it's not joining up. So say you've got the, let's go back here for an example. Say you have the 50 natally. See that? Say you've got the 50 natally, and then the transit comes and it's going to hook you up, right? This channel of values, preservation, 2750. Do you see how that works? So you've got the 50, but you don't have the 27 natally, and then the transit comes along, and then suddenly you have this channel. So as you get more and more into human design, you'll realize, okay, well, this energy isn't me, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to harness it. That's what I do. Especially if it's because I'm a projector, and if it's activating my my sacral, right? Nothing's going on here for my sacral. My sacral's still open. That I'll feel it. I'll feel like a generator, right? But I know that I'm not a generator. But I'll use that energy. Okay. So the next thing I just want to talk about briefly is the generators. And the manifesting generators. So remember that they are 70% of the population. So many, many are generators. So I'm a projector. We're 20% of the population. But projectors and generators, or manifesting generators, we have a very sacred relationship with one another. We need one another for different reasons. So you know that I'm doing this online retreat on relationships and looking at the relationships from a deeper place in terms of type. And there's a whole bunch of teachings on human design and sexuality and how we bond. And this information has to get out here because it's really the Pluto and Aquarius is all, Aquarius is groups. It's about us coming into relationship with one another. And human design really gives us a good tool to operate as ourselves. And what's my unique way of bonding? It's going to be different than your unique way of bonding. This is beyond projector type. It has to do with your profile and also gates and channels in your chart too. But let's talk about the generators and the manifesting generators, most of the planet. So they've got the sacral, and that's this right here, sacral energy, the center one. So if that's colored in, you're going to be a manifesting generator or a generator automatically. So what is this? This is life force energy. Life force energy. This is the juice, right? Life force energy. There would be no life if there weren't generators on the planet. They generate the life force. So they really need to learn about their sacral. And of all the types, the MGs and the Gs, they have to know themselves. They have to know themselves and how they work. So basically, the human design system is for your body, right? So we were, as souls, we incarnated into these vehicles, or you could call them our physical form. But we didn't get the memo of how this physical form operates. And it's not the same for everyone. It's not a factory model. So it's different for each person, right? How it works. So this is a system, MGs and Gs, to learn about how you work. So then that you can move through your life with ease and fulfillment. That's your big word, fulfillment and satisfaction. That's how you want to feel all the time, right? If you're feeling frustrated, that's the not self. That's your not self. That means you're not operating correctly. That means you're letting your mind make your decisions for you. And that's a no-no now, right? So in terms of the sacral, you have to take care of your sacral. And how do you take care of your sacral? Is, well, you start to listen to it. You start to obey it. And it speaks in a yes or no, right? A yes or no, your sacral. So really for the generators and the manifesting generators, they have to follow their own flow. That's why I love this picture from the Osho Zen deck, right? This is the Two of Pentacles. And this is moving from moment to moment to moment. So you can look at these stepping stones here, right? That are appearing. I would say that they're not all there at once, right? But they're just appearing spontaneously, moment by moment by moment. And this is your response. So your big word is I respond, right? I respond. Let me just move me out of here, up here maybe. There we go. So you can see this better. Right? So you're responding moment by moment by moment because you are life. Right? You have this beautiful life force energy, and you are life. So these stepping stones appear and you respond to them, right? Yes or no from your sacral. No, when you don't move. You don't move. Yes, okay, I move. And then the next one will appear, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So it's a complete trust, but it requires a flow. You have to be in the flow of life. You have to be in the flow of life. This means that you need to relax. Manifesting generators and generators need to learn to relax. They've got this buzzy life force energy, the sacral energy in them. It doesn't mean that you got to go out and spend it, right? You have to look at your sacral as currency. You don't have to run out and spend it. You just let it be there within you. And as you relax, it will get kind of a calm sense to it. And then as you respond to the right things, right, the correct things, then this flow really starts to activate in your life. So it requires no thinking. And when you start to really like trust in your sacral, that your sacral knows best, then this is going to get easier and easier and easier, your sacral. And it will be like this effortless ease through life, moving through life. So what does it mean then to follow your sacral? Well, there's one thing to obey your sacral with speaking with yes or no in terms of what you respond to. The challenge is other people, right? So remember that we live in a not self world, right? A not self world. A not self world. So the not selves, they don't like this. Not selves are like completely programmed by their conditioning. That's how they make their decisions, and it's from the mind and the ego, right? So you're going to be faced, and this is your test as a generator. When I start listening to my sacral, I don't know what that sacral's going to say. That sacral may say, no, I'm not going to my best friend's birthday party. I'm getting a no from my sacral. And the conditioning is like, well, you're a horrible person. That's no good. You're not a good friend. You've been friends with that person for 20 years and you're not going to their birthday party. Shame, 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 control, control, control. That's the tribal consciousness. That's the conditioning that will come at you. So it's really about getting strong, right? So strong in protecting yourself in terms of like, no, I'm listening to my sacral. And what you'll realize later, perhaps later, that decision actually protected you, right? And it served everybody because it's you coming into truth as a generator, manifesting generator. I'm listening to my sacral, and this means that I'm aligned with my truth. And when you're aligned with truth, then everybody around you benefits because it brings them into truth. It brings them back into truth. So it could have been something like, well, if I would have gone to my friend's birthday party, I would have been in a horrible accident, right? It could be something like that. So you always have to go to my sacral is there to protect me. That's right. Humans, we don't have fangs and we don't have claws, right? We can't protect ourselves like the other animals in the animal kingdom, but we do have our intuition and we do have this strategy, this human design strategy that's specific for the time that we're in right now so that we can navigate safely through this age of great change and turmoil and chaos, right? So you can really count on your sacral. But the challenge is saying no and being faced with the conditioning coming back at you from the not self people in your life, right? But once you start obeying this, then life's going to get better. Your health will get better. Generators, if they're not using this energy correctly, it affects all parts of their life. It affects their work. It affects their health. It affects their relationships. Everything just starts falling apart because this is such a powerful place for you, this sacral and for the MGs and the Gs. It's a powerful place for you, is that sacral. So once you start operating correctly, then everything starts to recorrect, right? Health starts to get better. Your work gets better. Your relationships get better. Life gets better. You start to feel better. You start to feel this ease and flow in your life. And then this is where the synchronicities start. When you operate correctly, you'll start to see all these synchronicities because you're in the flow. Right? This is what synchronicity means. It means you're in the flow. You're at the right place at the right time. You're meeting the right people at the right time. And this is what will get you into the flow. Your mind, it's like a wet blanket. It will take you out of the flow. This is disempowering for you as a generator, MG. What else did I want to say about that? And your sacral doesn't care. Your sacral doesn't care what other people think of you. Your sacral doesn't care what it means to be a good friend or a good spouse or a good worker or any of that stuff. That's all the tribal conditioning. It's sacral, like I said before, only cares that you have come to have this experience of your authenticity in this lifetime, maybe for the first lifetime. That's what your sacral cares about. Your sacral is your BFF. Your BFF. This is what you trust. Like I said before, you don't trust your spouse, you don't trust your best friend, you don't trust your mother or your sister, right? Or even your therapist. You trust your sacral first. Trust your sacral first. And the therapist may be giving you like hot tip after hot tip. Still, you take it in and you filter it through your sacral. My sacral saying yes or no, right? And that's just how you make your decisions. So it's getting out of the mind. And this is the time to do it as a generator MG. Okay. So that's what I want to share with the types, right? And remember, the generators have the open and enveloping aura. Yeah. And so one of the big things that I talk about a lot during this time, because we're closing up a 400-year cycle, entering this new 400-year cycle in 2027. The most important work that we can do right now as spiritual people is to focus on ourselves in terms of deconditioning, right? So this is all the impositions. This is the conditioning, right? The outside is going to tell you who you are. The outside is going to validate who you are. The outside is going to tell you what your value is, right? The outside is going to tell you who you are. The outside can't tell you who you are, right? So the deconditioning is like an unlearning. It's a shedding, right? It's a shedding of all of that energy. That's the best use of your time, is like completely be purging this not self. So if you embrace human design in your strategy, that alone is going to really fast track you through this process. And remember that our relationships are really important right now. Really, really important now. And so what I've been doing with the online retreat that starts next week is looking at the not self, like the birth of this not self. Because this is the problem right here, this identity. It's not who you are, right? And the not self really shows itself within our relationships. Within our relationships, it really starts to come up. Because we have this programming, tribal consciousness, that we have to go along to get along. We have to fit in. We have to sacrifice our authenticity in order to survive. This isn't even personal to you. It's impersonal. It goes back to your ancestral line, right? So there's a few things that I've just listed. I just did a little video on it too, if you want to look at the video. And this is psychologically and spiritually understanding where this not self comes from, and then releasing it, right? Releasing it. So this is my online retreat is part of this work right here, is to look at this. So if you go on, I'm not going to go over this one by one, but go on my website or go to that little video that I did, that I uploaded last night. It's only about 9 minutes long, okay? And if you recognize yourself in this, right, then this means that your not self is taken over, and it's not who you are. It's not authentic to you. See, these are the signs, and these are universal signs of the not self within relationships. Okay? Okay. So let's pick some cards for each type, and I'll just see if there's any comments before we jump in here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's do overlays. Generators. generators. Okay, generators. Let's see here. Let's put this here. Maybe generators is too much. Like, it's too much for me to put all my eggs in the sacral basket to make my decisions. Maybe that's too much at first, right? Well, you start off with a baby step. Maybe just for today, I'm going to follow my sacral and I'm going to see what happens. This is about having an experiment. You know, this is the fool. This is the fool. Be the fool, which is trusting. I'm just gonna try it out, right? I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see what happens. And then you may be really surprised. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do the generator, and this is for Pluto retrograde. Looking at generators where you lose your power. You get where you give your power away. I'll pick some cards. Remember, generators have the open and enveloping aura. They're here to respond from their sacral, yes or no. And when they're operating correctly, they feel fulfilled and satisfied, especially in their work. But it spreads in all areas of their life when they're operating correctly. When they're frustrated, right, depressed, angry, then they're not. That's a big sign that they're not self. That's not self, period, when you're in that state. Okay, so what do we have for our generator friends here? Okay, do we have another card? Okay, you've got 3 here. So that's the 7 of Wands. So that's standing up for yourself. You can see he's fighting, standing up, standing his ground, right? It's like a warrior card. And then the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, confident. And then the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups. So where are you losing your power? I would say in relationships, just because you got the 2 of Cups here. So this is your relationships. And this is about having your guard up in terms of your relationships, generators. So maybe you're losing your power in your relationships, your closest relationships. So either giving your power over to another or demanding that they give their power over to you. Maybe you're in some kind of karmic relationship. As soon as the thing is now, you have to enter, like it's non-negotiable. You have to enter relationship as yourself, as your authentic self. And if you don't, you're not self. You're going to attract another not self. 2 not selves come together, and what happens? Drama. Conflict. Honeymoon ends after 2 years. That's how it works, right? And then the lights come on, and you see who you're with, who you're really with, right? So there might be a resistance to this, right? There might be a resistance to this, to actually see this. But it's also saying to the generators that to be bold, right? To really, really be bold and be yourself, right? Because the 41 is saying where you can wear a mask. The other thing, too, with the Queen of Wands, she can wear a mask, right? She can pretend everything's fine. Everything's fine. Put on the fine face. Out in public, look how great our relationship is. But in truth, it's not so great, right? It's not so great because this energy is here, which is about fighting, right? Standing your ground, not being able to to put your guard down. And the new Aquarian relationships are about you put your guard down, right? It's not a business deal anymore. Those are the Piscean relationships. These are the cross of planning relationships. They're based on a business deal, tit for tat. You do this for me, I do this for you. If you're really to reduce it to what it's really about, right? These types of relationships are coming to an end. And now it's about trust, right? Trust that you're a team. Aquarian relationships are 1 + 1 = 11, not 1 + 1 = 2. So that's what I see there. Like, really look at your relationships with this Pluto in retrograde is showing you where you feel like you have to fight, right? Where you have to fight, where you have to have your wand up all the time. That's exhausting for a generator, right? And generators together, or MGs and Gs together, their energy can get sloppy, right? They can get really, really sloppy because of all that sacral energy that they have, right? So you need to really learn to respond to one another. That's the gift of a generator with a generator, is responding to one another in the moment. They can respond, not just like in your face and start talking right away. It's like, well, are you available, right? The generator has to say, are you available now for talking? You know, learning those subtleties of being in a relationship with a generator. So these are things that you're going to learn, right, with the online retreat, how the types work together so it's correct. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Those are for the generators. Their relationships have to come into balance, into truth is the word. Okay, so let's go for the MGs. So they're part of the generator family. And so this is, we've got 70% are generators. 70% are generators, and that means generators and manifesting generators. And then 35% are MGs, right? So MGs, watch the, I'm going to timestamp it if you're watching it on the replay. Just a little bit of more information about your sacral. So we're talking about Pluto going retrograde, okay, in the 41s. And this is the Fool. And this is about to embark on a whole new journey for you. But it's also about letting go and shedding. So these could be like old belief systems, things like that, old ways of thinking, old habits. Things that are toxic, right? Because Pluto gets rid of toxins. It eliminates toxins. So that could be physical toxins from your body, your physical health, or toxic thoughts, toxic people, of course, toxic work environment, so that you can really travel light, right, when Pluto goes direct in October. Okay. So we're picking some cards for the MGs. What do we have for our manifesting generator friends? Okay, what do we have for our manifesting generator friends, please? For the MGs. One more for the MGs. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So you've got the, let me just show it to you here. The World Cup, the World, the World card. Okay, there it is. The World card for the MGs. The last of the major arcana. So this is the 21, the World. This is the ending, right? This is an ending and a completion. And then the King of Cups right there. And then the Strength card. So all really positive here. Yeah. And so remember that the 41 is about beginning a whole new chapter in your life, manifesting generators. But from the full position, right? From the full position. So beginning something completely new. So this is... yeah, this is a cycle. Maybe you're completing some kind of cycle in your life right now. And you got the lesson. You move through the cycle. They can go for 7 years. And I would also go to October when Pluto went to retrograde in October of last year. And then what's happening now? What's happened since October till May 2nd? Like what's happened during this time? And this means that it's either completing, ending, but it's Pluto, so it's not going to be an ending per se, you know, but it will be an upgrade. That's what the energy that I feel here. It's like an upgrade. So completing a cycle, something's getting regenerated because Pluto's got that reputation of, well, it just destroys. No, it doesn't destroy. It looks like it destroys and then it regenerates. It's Phoenix, the Phoenix from the flames, right? Being birthed from the ashes, this deep, deep letting go and purging, and then something beautiful being born. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in a form, like to limit it into a form. It's like an essence, it's an energy. It's an energy that's getting some kind of upgrade for you. And it's about your emotions. The King of Cups right there. And the King of Cups, manifesting generators, he's not one to here you go, here's my emotions, here's my love, and give. No, the King of Cups is discerning, right? Discerning who he gives his cup to, right? And very, very compassionate, but he's not a doormat. The King of Cups energy is not a doormat. So maybe that you're learning, right? You're learning, this has come more into play. I'm discerning who I give my cup to. Whereas before I would just spill it everywhere. In terms of, let's go back to your sacral. Spill my sacral energy all over the place. Now I'm discerning. This old part is gone. I learned my lesson. And now I'm moving more into this King of Cups energy, which is like being really efficient with your energy. And the manifesting generators have to learn that because everybody is after your energy. You have the life force energy, you and the generators, right? So this is teaching you that it actually is more compassionate to be discerning, right? Holding back, listening to your sacral. No. It's saying no, not to give my cup to this project, or no, it's saying no to this person, or saying yes to this person, right? So you're getting smarter in where you invest your energy. That's what I see there. So it's a balance, right? You're coming into balance. This is really, really healthy. Okay? And then this, so 2 major arcana and then a royalty card. So that's the strength card. So this is inner power. This is maturity right here. It's courage, right? It's energy and vitality. So you've learned who to give your cup to and who not to give your cup to. You've learned, so you've matured, right? So it's not about making yourself wrong. Why did I do that? I made so many mistakes. No, you've learned, you had to go through this learning process for some reason. And now you've got it. You got the lesson. So this is your vitality returning, right? As a manifesting generator. This is your inner power returning. And your strength is returning. So maybe you're like, oh, Michael, I don't know if I'm at that place yet. Well, this is the retrograde period. This is you reflecting. Reflect on these themes, right? Who are you giving your power over to, and why are you giving your power over to? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be about people pleasing. That's the not self. The number one quality of the not self is a people pleaser. Does things for the validation and approval of other people, right? Yeah. Okay. Very, very positive for the MGs. And just with the world card, it's like it's ending. This old self, this old not self is going. So remember this time that we're in right now, coming to 2027. It's about letting go of this not self. That's not who you really are. It's not who you really are. Okay. Okay, that's what I got for the MGs. And then let's go to the projectors. Projectors. Okay, so projector is the 20% of the world's population. And they have the focused and absorbing auras. And if you're a projector, you really have to be part of this Aquarian relationship level 2, because projectors are all about the other. They need to learn how to enter correctly into relationship, right? It's very dangerous for a projector to go in as their not self, because they have a focused and absorbing aura. That means they take in the energy of the other so deeply. It's like they're eating the frequency, like that's their food and their sustenance. And if you're with a not self, or a person that's not correct for you, it could be detrimental for you, really, right? And this is not the time to go down dead end roads. 2027's coming soon, and we need the projectors. They're the new leaders of this new age. That we need them, right? We need them to start stepping up, leveling up. And to learn, you're going to be learning a lot about other people, which is your mission and your duty, is to learn about the other so that you can help guide them. Okay. So, let's put this up here. So I'm going to pick a couple cards for the projector. So this is about the new, right? It's Pluto in retrograde. It's about reflecting, where you give your power over, so that you can begin the new. And be that Fool card, stepping into your new adventure. Okay. So what do we have for our projector friends? What do we have for our projector friends? What do we have for our projector friends? Oh. What do we have for our projector friends? What do we have for our projector friends? Just one more. One more. One more. Okay. That's way too many. Just one more. Okay. So the projectors got the Ace of Cups. Sorry, the Ace of Pentacles. And then the Hermit card. Right there. And then the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. Okay. So this one right here is the rough road, right? This is the wounded warrior, right? He's like he's tired. He's tired. And I mean, I'm a projector. I totally resonate with this card. It's like this exhaustion, especially from 2024. And then this April, right? There's like an exhaustion of all the things that we've been through as projectors. It was a test of our faith. April was a big test of our faith. It took boundaries. It took courage, right? And learning more about yourself. Maybe as a projector, maybe you learned that you can't go like the generators, that you really had to face with your limitation as a projector. And the thing is, when we accept our limitations, we also, it's an opportunity to accept our gifts too and our power as projectors. So there's that going on with the 41. And then this is saying the Ace of Pentacles is like new opportunities can be coming. Maybe you've already experienced if the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, right? Jupiter's starting to leave Uranus, but some kind of opportunity has come to you. It could be a new home. It could be even a new relationship. It could be a new financial opportunity, right? New career opportunity, something like that. Something on the material realm, right? Because it's Ace of Pentacles. Seemed to come out of nowhere. And you're unsure, right? You're unsure. Maybe that's an invitation. Let's call this an invitation. There's an invitation. And then you've got the Hermit card. The Hermit card. So I'm kind of sensing a lot of projectors out there that are listening to this message. You've spent some time alone. Right? Because projectors, because they've got this focused and absorbing aura, like I talked about, we take in people so deeply that it can be traumatizing in a sense. I'm using that word, correctly. It can be traumatizing for people to be in relationships that are not correct for them, which I said at the beginning, right? That the default is just like, I'm just going to go into hermit mode, especially for a second line profile too. This is the hermit. The hermit. I'm just going to go inside, right? So there can be some hesitancy, gun shy, right? Gun shy. It's like, okay, well, this new energy is here, but I don't know, right? Is this old story going to come back? These old experiences, right? That's this. Like, I'm tired. I'm weary, right? I'm weary. Because projectors have to put up with a lot of rejection. They have to put up with a lot of rejection by others. And all the projector wants to do is to help. That's what we're born to do, is to help the other, to help guide the other. But there can be this rejection by the other, especially if we're not operating correctly as ourselves, right? So projectors, we'll just bring this here. There's the aura type of the projector. There's the generator, open and enveloping. Everybody feels included. And there's the projector, like a laser beam, right? The projector aura is focused. Right? So imagine the projector is coming to the generator, the MGs, uninvited, and they've got this laser beam going right through to their G center. Uninvited. Well, that's going to be, and a not self generator doesn't know what's going on. All they're going to do is like energetically push you back, right? So the uninvited is like, I'm going to tell that person what they need to do. I'm going to tell that person what's wrong with them, right? I'm going to overbear that person as a projector. And it's painful for the generator, right? Generators and manifesting generators that I talk to, they say the projector aura is painful to them because it penetrates. It's very penetrative, their aura, right? So there can be this, you know, things are just going to be the same. So I might as well just embrace this solitude, basically, right? But it's different now with this 41. So it's about just reflecting, right? Reflecting with Pluto in retrograde about your power. And to me, with the projectors, they've got to claim that they do have power. That's their first step, right? The not self projector can like go into victim and bitterness, have that bitter taste in their mouth, right? And this is the belief that they have no power. Well, the 41 retrograde, Pluto retrograde, is to realize that as a projector, you're very powerful. You're very, very powerful. Your aura is very, very powerful. And with all the Spider-Man quote, right? With great power comes great responsibility. And your great responsibility is to wait. I'm going to wait until invited. I do this with people. I don't automatically look at people, especially strangers, especially look them in the eye, because it's threatening to them. They feel threatened by that aura. They feel threatened of being seen. Some people do the not self. They don't want to be seen, right? And then others love to be seen. And they open their aura up to you. There's a complete difference, right? So this is, to me, is about embracing your power as a projector. You have a very, very powerful aura, and you have a very, very powerful mission. And it's coming closer, right? We're moving more and more into 2027. And these other types need guidance, right? So I really invite you to come to this relationship retreat so that you can learn about the other types and yourself, because your mission involves relationships and involves the other. So this is for all relationships. It's not just romantic relationships. Yeah, and it's moving out of this place, moving out of this energy right here. The warrior that's had enough, and I'm just going to retreat for the rest of my life, and I'm just going to kick back, right? Go into solitude. And it's like, no, I'm calling you out as another projector. I'm inviting you out, right? It's time to do your work, and it's time to accept this Ace of Pentacle. This pentacle is coming to you like some opportunity. And so remember, you need to be recognized, right, for your gifts and talents, and then invite it. And then it depends on what your authority is, and then you accept or you don't accept. But this is coming. And I think we got this message too from the other videos too, that it's time for you to step out, right? It's time for you to step out as a projector. So let me know if you're a projector in the chat, and then in the replay too, that this is your time. This is your time as a projector. Okay. So let's go for the manifestors. And they're 10% of the world. 10% of the world. So we're talking about this Pluto retrograde manifestors until October. And this is about you questioning your power. And we know manifestors are powerful. When they start operating correctly, they're very, very powerful. Okay. So I want to say too that reflection doesn't mean that you don't do anything and you don't take action, you know, but it's taking a minute to just like take a deep breath and just reflect on this dynamic. That's all I'm asking you to do. And then life will show you where you need to fix and correct, right? In terms of your power, where you're giving your power away, where you're trying to take power from others. Life will show you all of that. Okay. So what do we have for our Manifestor friends? Our Manifestor friends. What do we have for our Manifestor friends? Oh, that's quick. Okay. Very, very quick. Okay. Okay. So you got the Hanged Man Manifestors, the Hanged Man, and then you got the Page of Wands, right there, the Page of Wands, and then the Nine of Pentacles. Something to reflect about. Well, right away, you need a change of perspective. That's what the Hangman is, right? He's upside down. It's time to take a different perspective on your life right now. Maybe take a different perspective on your relationship to power, right? Okay, let's see. I just want to check something really quickly here. Really quickly. Hold steady. Keep your attention span. Okay, there we go. Of course, it's the end. Right. Okay. Okay. So the Nine of Pentacles is like self-reliance. Self-reliance. And then the page... The Page of Wands is enthusiastic. It's youth. It's free spirit. To become a free spirit. It's about a new journey, right? Yeah. And I feel that for the manifestors, this is about letting go of control, right? The Hangman is about letting go of control. Yeah. Letting go of control, seeing things differently. Looking at places where you need to, manifestors are known for being control freaks because they were so controlled as children. That's their biggest fear, is that they're going to be controlled and lose their freedom. So this is like telling me you need to change, right? The way that you're seeing your life and the way that you're seeing others. Maybe you see others as, because this could be children too. Page of Wands can be a child. Maybe seeing your children as some kind of burden that you have to carry as a manifestor, right? And manifestors have a very unique relationship with their children. They don't have the open and enveloping aura, like the generators in the MG. They got the closed and repelling aura. So it's difficult for them to bond in terms aurically. It's difficult for them to aurically bond with their children. So they have to compensate by communication, right? Communicating to your children that you love them and things like that, right? So there can be this, in the Nine of Pentacles, she just wants to be on her own, right? She just wants to be on her own. Self-reliant, right? Self-reliant. So I really feel that you need a change of perspective on whatever responsibilities that you're holding right now in your life. Maybe some family responsibilities. This could even be an adult child too, like feeling over responsible for your children. And just taking a different perspective on this. And maybe moving more into this Nine of Pentacles, right? More into this Nine of Pentacles. It's wherever you're giving your power over, right? And how do you know how do you know exactly? Well, you ask yourself, well, I can't do that because, and whatever comes after because, that's where you're giving your power over. I can't do that because I can't leave my son, or I can't leave my child. That would never work. That would never work. Well, this is saying you're locked in a perspective that's not true. That's not true. It's about opening up. And the thing with you as manifestors, you don't have to have it all figured out. You get the divine guidance, the divine inspiration, and then right away you share and you inform. And it's like that your next question after the divine download is, who will this impact? And then that's who you inform and share, right? So to me, it's like, don't get trapped. Don't get trapped in this space of I can't. This is the stuff we have to let go of, and it's based in fear. There's some kind of fear there about moving into the future, and then using others as an escape, right? As an excuse. As an excuse not to move on. Yeah. So what would you do if we look at the Page of Wands from a different perspective? Like, what would you do if you could create with if you could initiate with no limitations? What would you do as a manifestor? What inspires you? What downloads have you been receiving? What new spiritual journey is calling you? And now take a different perspective, right? The Hangman, take a different perspective on things. Which is, I'm just going to follow my strategy. I'm just going to follow my strategy and see what happens, right, as a manifestor. Yeah. Okay. So let's do the reflector. The last one is the reflector. There we go. So only 1% of the world, and I always love to hear from the reflectors. Even if you're watching the replay, just pipe up and say, I'm a reflector. And the reflector reading is for all of us. It's for all the other types too. That's what I've discovered. Okay. So this is about Pluto going in retrograde reflectors. And your moon, because you're all about following the moon. The exact time of Pluto going retrograde, the moon was in the 30th gate, line 6. And that's part of this channel, right? 4130. This new human experience, the 4130. And the 30th is all about desire, the 30th gate. Okay. Okay, what do we have for the reflectors? Oh. Okay. So we got a double card. Double. And the strength card. That's a good one. And who had the strength card? Oh, that was the MGs, right? Manifesting generators have the strength card. And then you've got the 4 of Swords. And then the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. So to me, this is showing you reflectors during this Pluto retrograde period. It's really time for you to take some time, right? And you need time anyway. You need a whole moon cycle. And the 4 of Swords is to go in to rest. Go, if you can, like, this would be ideal, and you should put this in a part of your routine anyway as a reflector. Solitude is having time just on your own, like away from people. Maybe if you could get a house sitting gig or something like that out in the country, or depends where you live, where you can really kind of go into a deep reflection during this time. And this is all about waiting, right? We all have to wait. All the types have to wait. It's either waiting to respond to something, waiting for an invitation, waiting for divine inspiration, or waiting through the moon cycle for you, right? So taking time just to reflect, right? Just to reflect, take things in deeply, right? Really, really take them in deeply. And then trusting The Seven of Pentacles, right? This is about your investments, right? What you've invested in. Don't make it wrong. Well, I spent all these years investing in this or investing in these people and nothing's come out of it. But you can see he doesn't look. He's got a pentacle there right under his feet that he can't see. So it's just trusting what the process you've been in, especially since October 2023. That's when Pluto went direct. And it's going retrograde today, May 2nd. It's already retrograde. Like what happened during that time period for you is to trust. There was something. Pluto's deep, 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 deep. Things were going on. Things were growing. Things were moving at a slow pace, right? Just to trust that whatever you were, as a reflector, like what themes were coming up for you during this time, right? Just to trust that that was a good use of your energy, right? And then just having the courage, right? Having the courage, having the strength, the fortitude to move forward, to really embrace this Fool energy for the 41. And that you matured. Remember, this is about maturing, right? You've matured through this process, whatever you've gone through since October, that you're more mature because of it. You don't realize it, right? And these pentacles are maturing. There's going to be a ROI, right? Return on investment with this pentacles, and something material for you. So new job, new place of living, right? There's going to new person, something on the material realm will come. Okay. And you'll get your energy and vitality back. So all of us are going to get our energy and vitality back in the month of May. But I'll talk about that in the next video. Okay. Okay, everybody. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next video. And it's going to be all on the new moon in Taurus, and also more good news for us. Okay. So keep in mind the retreat that starts May 10th, 11th, and 12th. I've got information on my website, and there's also a video on YouTube that I just uploaded, a little 9-minute video with a better explanation. May 8th, the doors open, and you'll have videos right away to watch, intro videos, and a little homework assignment to do. May 10th is the opening circle, and then all weekend long is the retreat, and then closing circle on the 12th, and then May 19th is an integration meditation. Okay? So I hope to see you there, because it's all about our relationships. Okay. Okay, everybody. Sat Nam Aloha. Bye-bye.